Welcome back to ILTV on the Hour. We're bringing you the biggest headlines from Israel and the Middle East in just 5 minutes. I'm Deborah Klein, and today is day 664 of the war in Gaza. Let's get into all of the top stories of the hour. We begin our hour with the news that Canada will join the planned announcement to recognize a Palestinian state in September. Canada today became the latest Western democracy to join the trend after French President Macron's announcement last week and British Prime Minister Starmer this week. Like France and Britain, Canada says it will recognize the Palestinian state at the UN General Assembly, but unlike the other Western countries, Canada posed the conditioning of the recognition not on Israel's actions, but on the Palestinians. Prime Minister Carney had this to say.
For the reasons I cited earlier, Canada intends to recognize the state of Palestine at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025. This intention is predicated on the Palestinian Authority's commitment to much-needed reform, including commitments by the Palestinian Authority's President Abbas to fundamentally reform its governance, to hold general elections in 2026 in which Hamas can play no part, and to demilitarize the Palestinian state.
And U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff is due to arrive in Israel today to discuss key issues related with the Gaza war with Israeli leaders. Witkoff will try to unravel the stalled hostage for ceasefire talks and will also tackle the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. This is the first visit to Israel by Witkoff in almost 3 months and comes after he and Secretary of State Marco Rubio met in Miami with Israeli officials earlier this week. According to U.S. officials, President Trump wants to know more about the humanitarian situation in Gaza and the U.S.-sponsored Gaza Humanitarian Foundation efforts. The hostage for ceasefire deal, while currently stalled, is not the Israeli Prime Minister's only objective when it comes to reaching a lasting plan for peace. Netanyahu reportedly sent a warning message to Hamas that if it does not accept the ceasefire proposal on the table in the coming days, Israel will start to annex territory around the Gaza perimeter. According to reports in the Israeli media, Netanyahu raised the idea during a meeting with Israeli officials when discussing the Gaza war. The proposal in question includes plans for Israel to hold onto the Philadelphia corridor that lies along the border with Egypt. And while Netanyahu weighs possible annexation in Jerusalem, right-wing activists were rallying at the Gaza border, calling for Israeli settlements in the enclave. As we approach the 20-year anniversary of Israel's disengagement from the Gaza Strip, former residents of what was once Gush Katif are hoping and pleading for the chance to return home. In August of 2005, thousands of Israelis were ripped out of their homes in an attempt to show goodwill to the Gazan population and take a crucial step toward peace. After leaving the agricultural and civilian infrastructure built by Israelis for the Gazans, many in Israel were confident that peace could be achieved. However, we know that to not be the case, as over the past 20 years, the enclave had become a hotbed of terror, crime, and indoctrination to hate. Today, former residents are hoping to return to Gush Katif to restore Israeli presence in the Gaza Strip and actively protect Israel's southern border. But until then, the IDF continues to push to achieve its war goals. The 98th Division has wrapped up operations in the Gaza Strip and started making their way out of the enclave to focus on additional missions. This, according to the IDF. For several months, troops of the 98th Division operated deep within terror strongholds in the Gaza Strip, conducting combat activities in Khan Yunis, Sajaiya, and Zaytun. The IDF confirms that over 1,500 terrorist infrastructure were dismantled and dozens of terrorists were eliminated. Many of these terrorists had participated in the October 7th massacre. The aid efforts are also ongoing. Trucks are entering from Egypt, aid is being airdropped by the UAE, and the IDF is monitoring their safe entry. That's a wrap for ILTV on the Hour. We will continue to update you on all of the developments. In the meantime, you can scan the QR code on your screen for our ILTV app. I'm Deborah Klein. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.